Errol Spence Jr. He's been pretty much known as the body snatcher. He's been known as man down, Free Smoke Jr. This is what he's been known for all these years, and uh, he's been running with it. It's been working for him all these years up until recently. Okay, and I know this is boxing, man, but the way Errol Spence has been fighting his opponents, that's his own certain skill set. Nobody fights like Errol Spence. He has his own unique style, a bully type style, and what I mean by that is he's been using the body attack as his main weapon. That's what he's been specializing in. In Derrick James, nobody was teaching him any other facet of the game. You know what I mean? He's been mainly focusing on offense when it comes to certain things, but I feel like Derrick James probably did Errol a disservice throughout his career by just focusing mainly on the offense, not really focusing on the defense, man, because they were feeling like they were high off their self, man. Like, all right, my boy been going in there and breaking dudes down to the body for all this time. Ain't gonna ever be anybody any different that's gonna come along that's gonna stop what we doing. That's gonna stop this train, pretty much. And Terrence Crawford comes along and just crushes their whole empire, damn near. And we ain't seen nothing yet, man. You know, and that is why Derrick James' soul is hurting right now behind this loss. Because he knows that they could have been putting more skills inside Errol Spence's tool bag all these years, and they haven't been doing that, man. And they were strictly banking off breaking Terrence Crawford down the way Errol been doing his other opponents. They even said it. Errol Spence said it. I'm going to break his will. I'm going to break him physically, mentally, until you submit. And this is the bully theory. This is what bullies do. They press you. They intimidate you by whatever tactic they got to. They push you up against a wall, dig in your pockets, and if you don't show resistance, they keep doing it. And this is what's been happening with Errol Spence all these years. He's been getting minimal resistance against dudes that are skilled, but are limited in their skill set. The dudes Errol Spence has been fighting, their skill set they had skills, but their skill set wasn't advanced enough to actually negate what Errol Spence really had to go on. You know, and it's when you think about it, it either Errol Spence was just that good, or these dudes wasn't really that smart in the ring to begin with. When you think about it, maybe Errol's relentlessness was greater than his skill set, and they couldn't handle the relentlessness of him, and it got to him and it broke them, and they couldn't handle it. They were mentally weak, and that's a flaw. You see how timid Danny Garcia was in that ring after a while, right? He just was up there. He didn't want no more parts of Errol. He just wanted to hurry up and get out of there. Look at it. Just look at all the fights he done had. Look at Kell Brook. After a while, Brook was like, all right, he got overwhelmed by what Errol was bringing. He had nothing for it. He had no tools to stop what Errol had. And enter Terrence Bud Crawford. They thought it was the same deal. They thought it was going to be the same thing that all the other ones. They put Terrence Crawford in the same category as all of the other dudes Errol was fighting, which was a fatal mistake. They didn't think, well, damn, eventually, man, we going to come across somebody that going to know how to stop this shit we got going on. So just in case we do, let's start working on some other things, some other skills like outboxing better or super good defense. Let's work on the timing. Let's work on practicing your timing and different levels to the jab and different power behind the jab. Something, man. And particularly the defense. Errol Spence's defense is not there. All right? It's not. Everybody was saying before this fight, Spence have crazy defense. No, he doesn't. And it showed it there. He don't move his head. He was he was closing his eye. I had to go back and watch it myself. I didn't believe it until 78 Sports TV said it. I went back and looked at it and I said, yo, this dude is really closing his fucking eyes, waiting for Bud to pop him in his fucking mouth. This is crazy. All right, so right there, when I seen that, I said, okay, the bully just got bullied. He tried to use his bully tactics. He was trying. He was trying the best way he could again. He was trying to do the same thing that he always do to all his other opponents. He was trying to do at the Bud in the second, third round. And I think the fourth round, it wasn't working. He couldn't push him. He usually pushed back his opponents in the ring, push them back into the ropes. He couldn't do that with Terrence Crawford. Bullies, when things don't go a bully's way, they don't know how to react to it. They start thinking like, they start panicking. They don't know what to do because all they used to is everybody showing them not a lot of resistance. When you show them resistance back, most of the time they can't think straight. They go into panic mode and they just, they can't handle it. You know what I look at that fight with Bud and Errol kind of like a bully, right? When the bully is punching on the little kid in the schoolyard and the little kid just pops the bully in his nose and the bully's nose start bleeding. You see that all the time on a lot of movies, right? You see how the bully just reacts and he just jumps up and he tries to rush the little kid because he didn't know how to handle that getting popped in the nose. His first reaction was like, oh my, what? What just happened to me? I just got popped in my nose. And he just started rushing after the kid. Like on Christmas Story when Farkas was the bully. When he hit Ralphie in the eye with the snowball. And Ralphie was already upset. I think he was upset about something else. I forgot. I think he was upset about the BB gun. I think that's what it was. And Ralphie just said, all right, man, I'm tired of that shit. He rushed Farkas. Got on top of him and beat holy shit out of him. You see how Farkas, how surprised he looked? He's like, what the fuck is going on? I can't believe this is happening to me. That's how Errol Spence was looking in that ring as Bud. He couldn't believe what was going on. He couldn't believe the bully himself was getting manhandled in there. He didn't know how to handle it. Now, moving forward, there's a slight chance that Errol Spence may never be the same after this fight. Lots of times, man, when these dudes, when they lose their first fight and they lose like that, or they get beat down severely for the whole fight, similar, getting knocked down, they getting back up again, knocked down again, getting punched again, knocked back down again. It does something to their psyche. Same thing to Deontay Wilder. We don't know how well Wilder's going to be able to take a punch from somebody else that's going to really hit him. Or his chin might be weakened to the point where even some of the lighter punching dudes might be able to hurt him. And Errol Spence is no different. We don't know how he's going to look. If he fights Bud again in another rematch, I would say after that, he's pretty much cooked. I would say he's probably going to end up being a journeyman for 154. He might be food for those guys up there. All right. Terrence Crawford stopped the hype train. That is Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence, while he is a good fighter in his own sense, he is not an excellent fighter. He's not a great. And there are levels to this. And Errol Spence and Crawford just showed you the levels. All right. It's going to come a time where the bully is going to get stopped dead in his tracks. This time just happened. And Derrick James and them severely underestimated this guy. Jerry James is the same thing. Oh, we break ribs and break eyes. And that's bully tactics. That's what bullies do. They use those that's how you scare people into submission. It didn't work. It's kind of like the friend of the bully in school goes around telling everybody, man, if you don't have that $1.50 ready, you saw last week what Spike did to that other kid in the schoolyard. He's going to break your kneecaps and, all this shit. And he ain't taking my $1.50. He going to have to just break my fucking kneecaps. And you saw, right? The other thing, something else I noticed in the last press conference they had before the fight, when Bud was like, if we get out of line, I swear to God, he's going to be the next one. Errol Spence didn't like that. Bullies don't like that. They don't like stuff like that thrown at them. That was a weak response from Errol. He triggered Errol because bullies are not used to getting talked to like that. He was more accepting of, look, I like when Terrence says I'm a great fighter. I like how when Terrence say he gonna underestimate me. I don't like when he say if he get out of line. So a bully ain't supposed to get out of line. A bully is the one that tells everybody else they not supposed to get out of line. So how is this guy gonna tell me I ain't supposed to get out of line. I'm the fucking bully. I'm the big fish. So he read into that, and that's why you saw Errol get really defensive. Well, shit, you just got to do what you got to do. I've been getting out of line my whole life. I ain't one of these kids. Like right there, I knew Bud had him. See, a lot of you silly rabbits out there, y'all don't understand psychology. Y'all don't understand how to read people. I've been reading people my whole life, and I knew that shit bothered Errol. It got under his skin when Bud said, "Don't get out of line." That's the alpha telling another dude that's supposed to be an alpha, bro, I don't give a fuck what you've been doing to these other dudes, but you get out of line with me and you pull that shit on me, it's a wrap for you. He told him that years ago. He's like, yeah, I see what you're doing around all these other dudes, body shots, and try that body shot shit with me. Back then, when they had that first meetup, Terrence Crawford had him. He got in his head from back then. All that shit, but I was like, when I stop you, I forgot what he said. They gonna say you was weight drained and all this shit. Look where we at. That motherfucker just predicted the future. You know what I mean? So, the bully theory is real, man. And unfortunately for Errol Spence Jr. and Derrick James, the tactic has been exposed. And now fighters after Terrence Crawford is gonna look at this and know how to beat Errol Spence. All you need is a good jab, a strong, powerful jab, how to move your head off the line, good lateral movement, and great timing. That's really all you really need to beat Errol Spence, man. And some good power. That's it. Anyway, this is your boy Rebel Life Boxing, man. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment. I'll catch y'all later on the next one. And I'm out.